My name is Nas, and I am the owner of FlexDining Moving and Delivery in San Diego and Austin, Texas. FlexDining Moving and Delivery, it's a moving company based in San Diego originally. We just started going out here in Austin, Texas. It's a very owned and operated company with a 5-star review in both locations. We do anything from residential moving, commercial moving, piano moves, cold plunges. We work with some interior designers. We do labor only, loading and unloading only. We do small deliveries as well. Pretty much we do everything in the moving industry, from small jobs to the biggest jobs.
I met Nas on social media. It's when I first started out, I started posting content regarding the moving space, regarding the moving industry. He was like one of the very, very first people that reached out to me, and he said, "Hey man, I like what you're doing." Sent me a DM and said, "Hey, is it cool if we go ahead and hop on a quick call? I just want to ask you a couple of questions to kind of pick your brain." So he just wanted a little bit of guidance because he's seen how I was doing in my moving company. So what I know about Nas is that he's an immigrant from Morocco. He has a very, very mature, and he's very, very likable. And you can tell that he was in the army in the past. And he has a very, very strong work ethic, and he's always positive, and he always wants to do the right thing.
I'm from Morocco. I was born and raised in Morocco until I was 19. I barely knew English. That's very surprising to most people. I barely knew English, and I had to learn the very basics of English as I lived here. Growing up in Morocco, it's not like growing up in the US. The US gives you a lot of opportunities. Growing up anywhere in the world would be extremely tough. You can work as hard as you can. You're not going to hit those goals. There's always going to be barriers. There's always going to be a wall that you're going to have to jump. There's always going to be another problem, a problem after problem after problem. I'm not talking about problems that you could solve as we do in this country. Here, you get rewarded for your hard work. Here, you work, you get rewarded. I feel like in other countries, you work, you're not always going to be rewarded. And that itself it will always bring you down. You're like, I'm not hitting what I want to hit because the environment is tough. Like, you work, you're not getting what you want. You're gonna give up at some point. So that was definitely a rough thing. I love my country. I love where I grew up. I would not change it for anything else. Morocco is a beautiful country. People are very, very hospitable. Yeah, I definitely would not change the way I grew up in any way. And I think growing up in Morocco made me the way I am today, made me the person who I am today.
And he's also a very good athlete, in really, really good shape. So that tells me a lot about a person. That tells me about their discipline. It tells me about, what they do on their off time, what they do on their downtime. And it seems like he really takes care of himself.
Morning routine. Seems like everybody gotta have one, right? Normal wake up, let's say around anywhere between 5:30 to 6:30, depends on the day. For some reason, because of the military days, my body just cannot sleep in. Get up, make my bed, drink some water, some salt, get that electrolytes kicking in, come into the gym right here, sometimes by myself, sometimes with the team. Got a little schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's a lot of lifting, and then we got Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I do a lot of core and full body, because I feel like if you don't have a strong core, you cannot support your body. So that's what we do a lot at the gym. And you guys are gonna see it today. I've always been an athlete. I think doing the hardest thing in the very beginning of your day, everything else can be easy. I do have a morning routine personally, like as most people do. Early wake up, I always beat the sun every single day. Learned that from the military and from my swimming career. Get my workout in, fasted, get my little breakfast in. That's my personal time. Phones are down, like entirely, both business phones and my personal phone, everything on do not disturb mode. I want to get that time for me to empower myself, empower my mind, empower my body. Once you do the hardest thing in the morning, my day goes super, super, super easy. I believe that my little family of my moving company, I gotta lead by the example. I first gotta come out here, get strong, get sweaty, lead by example, set the bar high. It's for everybody else to lead. If I'm just out there expecting everybody to do the right thing, work out, do all this crazy stuff, and I myself not doing it, I don't call myself a strong leader. So set the bar high, do workout, do it to the example. Everybody else will live by your example. So set it high. Beast mode. Yeah. Woo. Good job. When I lived in Dallas last year, I wanted to start another location in Dallas. And at that time while I was there, I was coming to visit Austin, and I fell in love with Austin. However, I had an issue. We had basically agreed, Anthony and I, out of a moral thing, and I told him, look, I never wanted to compete with the person that taught me the business, so I decided I would never ever move to Austin. This happened last year. Anthony had to go through a lot, some personal stuff, and he came to me and he goes, look man, I do not want to run this moving business anymore. It is stressing me out. I know you have passion for it. I know you want to grow. I know you want to take it to the next level, whatever the next level could mean to you. But whatever it is, I would like to discuss an opportunity of partnering up.
Yeah, my name is Anthony Messina. I am a native in Austin, Texas, 26 years old. And in my prior life, I was a founder in Moving Up ATX, which is now Flex Dolly. So it was about May of last year, NASA and I actually went to Alaska. We did a cruise together, and girlfriend broke up with me while I was gone. And I came back, had a spiritual awakening, and so I'm now a coach, a men's power coach, and I help men with reclaiming their power. And I do that with community, with transformational accountability program, with one-on-one coaching, these different things. But it's really all about bringing men together in community and helping them create transformation.
I said, yeah, man, I would definitely love to do it here in Austin. I would definitely love and come here, partner up with you. But I got a condition. My condition is I'm gonna definitely keep my name, because to me this name it's my baby. I created this. I would love to see it grow. And Anthony had no problem with me keeping Flex Dolly as a business and running out here in Austin. Him and I talked everything from like partnership, profit, growth, and we got all our goals aligned. From there, I packed my stuff. I'm a big risk taker. I packed my stuff after I lived in California for 8 years, and I drove to Austin, and I've been here for about 2 weeks. Definitely loving it. Not the heat, but everything else is great.
What I gathered just from talking to him and visiting his team and his office is that he does the sales, he does the dispatching, he does operations, he does the billing, he does everything.
We are a very small moving company. Everything is mobile for us. I do run everything out of my own office and my own house. My truck is parked right by my house. The way I operate everything, once I take on the calls and I book everything I book all the jobs, put them on the calendar.
I'm always here to help him with questions. He is my best friend, so we're in touch all the time. A couple weeks ago, he needed hands on a job. Happy to get out there and get my hands a little dirty.
His employees, I was very impressed with, how they carry themselves. Very professional guys, very, very respectful. It's hard to find, good guys like that in the moving industry. And, they definitely made sure to take care of them, pay them extra, pay them a nice salary, which was probably one of the most expensive salaries I've ever heard of as a mover, which was crazy.
Small business, I believe that Flex Dolly, we call it Flex Dolly family because we are a family. There is no single person that works with me in my company that does not know who I am, that does not know my story, and I don't know theirs. Everybody here is a team. We call each other's by names. Nobody here is higher than anybody else. Everybody has their own role in our company. Everybody does their part, and we are a full team. If I fall out, the entire team will fall out. If one of my teammates will fall out, the entire team will fall out. It takes time to build a teammate. It's training. Nobody is built perfectly. We come out here, we train ourselves to be the best we can in the company. And if anybody were to pull away from the team, it would take some time to bring another person and then have them trained as well, and then have them to our higher standards as we run this company.
When Nas is taking over, getting the employee buy-in is super important, because when you get the employee buy-in, that means that they have the same vision as you and they see what you're trying to do with the company. And my perception was that the employees respected him. They see that he came all the way from San Diego to take over this company to run it. That tells you a lot about Nas himself to his employees. Business structure, I think that when you're at that level and you don't have much of a business structure, you don't have that much of employees, I think that he needs to put more time into being inside of the business. Take all the sales calls, go on the jobs, and really understand everything on how the business works. From my thoughts and my perspective, he hasn't been in business for that long, but what I would do if I was him is that I would just keep taking in calls and keep dialing on the sales process. That's the main thing that I would do in his position, is just for the business structure. I would go ahead and be the sales manager, taking every single one of the calls, and what I would do is I'd hire an admin or a dispatcher to handle everything else. He sounds like a really good salesperson. He's got the energy. You can tell that he has energy when you speak to him, so I would go ahead and focus on sales solely, but versus, going in dispatch or doing operations besides that.
Steve has run a very successful company over the last 4 or 5 years, and he's definitely got a lot of growth done over all these years. I think one main thing that Steve could possibly bring into my business is, as I was talking to him yesterday, he did show me his team, because he has this blurry vision on how he can run a team. You don't even know who's doing what is my role in the company, what is my team's role in the company. He showed me this little scheme of everyone's role that helped me get a clear vision of where I should be on the company and where everybody else should be in the company. I cannot be wearing obviously all the hats, and we'll talk into grow that on how I could take myself out and put everybody else in place. That's first thing. Second thing that Steve and I were talking about on how I could grow my moving company is having a sales script, having a sales process, having a sales strategy. Because when you don't have a strategy, you don't have a goal, you're just shooting in the dark, you don't know where you're headed, and you're gonna miss your target. You're gonna miss 100% of the targets you can't see. And help definitely helps me see all my targets. He helps me shoot them the right way, and that's how we're gonna hit our goals this year and the next year.
Some of the things that can hold him back is just the fear of failing, right? A lot of people have the fear of failing. I think that to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to fail numerous and multiple times, because you're gonna learn from those mistakes. I failed many times. I failed other businesses. I failed in this business many times, months and months and over. I haven't gotten to the place where I want to get to, but I'm leveling up every single time I fail, because it's like, hey, I don't want to do that again, so let's go ahead and not do that again when I come into that position. The thing is that in business, you have to learn these things. So you have to, there's a debt to the business where, you have to go through a period of time or a phase where the debt that you incur to the business is by failing and learning all these new things. So, one of the things that's going to hold him back that I see is that just the fear of failing. You got to love to fail, because you're going to learn so many lessons from your failures.
He's all about the money, whereas I played small when I was there. So Nas has the tenacity and the risk tolerance to go big in places that I never would. So giving the company over to him, or rather transferring all the assets over to him, was a no-brainer. I knew that he would take it and run with it in ways that I never would. And in the market of Austin and the reputation that we built, I know there's so much potential.
Business is stressful. It will stress you out a lot. And it's been a lot of times when I'm like, I am done. I am just done with this moving shit. That's it for me. And then you look back, I'm like, nope, I cannot give up. This is a baby. I've started this from zero. I cannot just let it go.
In the whole grand scheme of things, he's got the strong mentality. He's got the right mentality to be successful in business. And the main thing to be successful in business is you got to be disciplined, right? And he's got the discipline. He's got the discipline from, swimming. He's got the discipline from being in the Army. All he needs to do is take the discipline, take that risk, and then put it over into business, and he'll be very successful.